views and opinions expressed in this podcast by the host or the guest do not necessarily reflect the views of Paranormal Buzz Radio or its sponsors. Use of any material produced by Paranormal Buzz Radio without express written consent is strictly prohibited. For information on everything Paranormal Buzz Radio has to offer, visit our website, paranormalbuzzradio.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to Exploring the Unknown with Rebecca and Shay. Taking stories from today's news, Rebecca and Shay will explore everything from the paranormal, supernatural, the strange and unusual, unsolved mysteries, and more. Join them as they delve deep into the unknown and mysterious. Taken from news headlines. Water cooler chat with a paranormal twist. Only on Paranormal Buzz Radio. Hey everybody, welcome to Exploring the Unknown with Rebecca and Shay. I'm Shay Carroll.
And I'm Rebecca Williamson.
Hey girl, how you doing?
Not too bad. How about you, Shay?
I'm doing good. I'm very excited about today's story because we talked about it last week. So,
Right. Well, we kind of touched on it a little bit last week, and now I'm excited to read the rest of the story.
Yes. And I don't want to take up too much time since neither one of us have nothing new to add or say that we've been up to. In case this takes a little bit longer, I want to jump right into it. What are we talking about?
We're talking about Brittany Murphey, which I'm excited about because I love Brittany Murphey.
Yes.
So this article is from December 20th of 2020, and it's a people.com article. Brittany Murphey died 11 years ago at 32 inside her sudden death that still confounds Hollywood. The young star died December 20th of 2009 after battling flu-like symptoms for a few days. The world was shocked when actress and singer Brittany Murphey suddenly died at age 32 right before Christmas in 2009. The young star collapsed in the bathroom of her Hollywood Hills home on December 20th, 2009, after battling flu-like symptoms for a few days. She cried, "Mommy, I can't catch my breath. Help me," before passing out in the arms of her mother, Sharon, and husband, Simon Monjack, her mother recalled according to The Hollywood Reporter. The Atlanta-born talent remains best known for Clueless in 1995 and 8 Mile in 2002 with Eminem, but also co-starred in Girl Interrupted in 1999 with Angelina Jolie, and led the romantic comedies Little Black Book in 2004 and Just Married in 2003, in which she starred alongside her real-life boyfriend at the time, Ashton Kutcher. I didn't know that was Ashton Kutcher's ex-girlfriend.
Well, yeah, according to them, I think they also knew each other. They met when they were young, and they didn't actually start dating till 10 months after the movie, according to them, but we all know how these Hollywood things go.
Right.
Yep.
Murphy also made a splash on the music scene with DJ Paul Oakenfold via their single Faster Kill Pussycat, which became a club hit and reached #1 on Billboard's Hot Dance Club Play chart in 2006. I didn't know that one either.
Yep.
Murphy in Clueless. There's a picture of Brittany Murphy in Clueless. Aw, so cute.
Yeah.
The coroner ruled Murphy's death an accident, and the police closed the case. Yet, its circumstances cast a spotlight on Monjack just months before his own death. The pair met on the set of his film White Hotel in 2001 and married in May of 2007. Alternately grief-stricken, pointed, and vague when answering questions about his wife and his own history at the time, Monjack refuted reports that Murphy was addicted to prescription drugs, despite the numerous pill bottles found at the scene.
Okay, so let's...
Quote, unquote.
Yes. Let's, first of all, she wasn't sick for a few days. She was sick for at least 10 days. 10 to 14 days. Like, really sick.
Yeah. I didn't realize she was sick quite that long, but, I mean... I don't know. It's the flu. Do we all think about going to the hospital when we've got the flu?
Well, no, we don't. But her autopsy and her cause of death states acute pneumonia, acute anemia, and an overdose of over-the-counter medicine. So she was pretty sick to overdose on some type, I'm assuming some type of cold medicine. Because it wasn't drugs, it was over-the-counter stuff.
Yeah, because I know, like, at the time, they had thought it was like a prescription drug overdose. I mean, it's Hollywood, right?
And both people that did the autopsies, or one person did the autopsy, and then renowned Cyril Rett did an overview of this, and both agreed that street drugs or any kind of those type of drugs were not the prominent cause of death.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the article real quick. Quote unquote, this is Monjack's quote, "My wife is not abusing prescription drugs that I was aware of," he told People after her death. How did she die? Shortly after her death, the LA coroner concluded that Murphey died as a result of pneumonia combined with anemia and, quote unquote, multiple drug intoxication from prescription and over-the-counter medication.
Yeah.
She was really sick with pneumonia, very anemic, and she was taking medication, coroner. Assistant Chief Ed Winter told People at the time, and all that combined killed her. Winter also confirmed that no illegal drugs were found in the actress's system. It was only prescription and over-the-counter meds, he said.
Yep. So,
but I mean, the thing that gets me about this is like, this is such a weird thing. I mean, how many of us have been sick with flu and taken prescription medications and over-the-counter medications? And I mean,
yeah, exactly. And for Monjack to deny any abuse of drugs is absolutely crazy. Everybody that knew her knew. There's even allegations of crack, cocaine within that household. I can't speculate on whether that's true or not, but when the police showed up, just on his side of the bed, there was over 90 pill bottles of prescription drugs. There was more on her side.
Yeah, and that is kind of nuts.
Kinda? Yeah. So...
Kinda.
Yeah,
and that's why, they say here in this article, multiple pill bottles.
That's a little bit more than multiple.
Yeah, right, exactly. And probably speaks as to why they felt they needed to comment on it, because that's a lot of pill bottles.
Yeah.
For a quote-unquote healthy person.
Yeah. And she was losing roles and could only get in what's the term? B flicks?
Yeah.
Because he controlled everything. He controlled everything. Who she could talk to, who she could see, what roles she could take, what agents she could talk to. He controlled absolutely everything. Very sad.
Yeah, very sad.
Yeah.
And next little bit here in the article, could her death have been prevented? According to Winter, the coroner, Murphy could still be alive today had she seen a doctor sooner. This death could have been preventable, he said. Murphy was planning on seeing a doctor, but she unfortunately passed away before she did. This was a case of a person with pneumonia who was anemic and was taking medication when she should have been getting medical treatment. But her husband denied keeping Murphy from seeing a doctor. He told People his wife, quote unquote, was being properly taken care of. He claimed to think that she was just battling the flu. I had no idea she had pneumonia. I took very good care of my wife. She was on antibiotic. How did she get an antibiotic if she wasn't seeing a doctor?
Exactly. He also claimed to be a rabbi. So anything this man says, I do not believe. His mother even says on air, like her own words, I've heard them multiple times in multiple interviews, that he lied. He was a liar. He made up stories to make himself feel better. I'm not quoting what she said. I'm just telling you what I got from what she said.
Yeah. I was taking very good care of my wife. She was on antibiotics and she was taking cough medicine and doing all the right things, he says.
Yeah. But the day of her death, he said she only had laryngitis.
So, I don't know when you want to get into this, but I do want to add, and we can get back to it afterwards. In 2012, 2013, there was new tests done on her hair, and there was 10 heavy metals found in her hair. Poisoning, 10 heavy metals. And again, I can never pronounce his name. Cyril Rhett, I think is how it's said. I'm not sure. I'm so sorry. He is so well known, and he's an expert. Has never seen this before. Has never seen it since. And calls it the biggest mystery he's ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of heavy metals. I mean, I'm not an expert in this by any means.
No, and he called them
a lot.
He called them, I can't remember exactly the words he used, but it was a crazy amount. Like anywhere from medium amount to large amounts of heavy metals in her hair.
Yeah, and that's like really strange, to have that much, large amounts. You should know where that's coming from. And when it showed up in her hair, it's not like it's just from the medicine she was taking because of this. This was for a while.
Yeah, because hair grows by the inch, they can measure it. But this is another weird thing, and we're going to read on in a second, but the father fought for this extra testing done. After court battles and everything else, the extra tests were actually done in 2013. And again, he was affiliated with the mob, in his own words. He went to jail for at least 9 years. He was in to criminal activity. So he didn't try to play this pillar of community, but this was his daughter, and he wanted
so it's not
answers.
Like he just sold the mob sandwiches. He was in the mob.
Yeah. So, and that's how the hair got tested. So they wanted to do a exhumation, and that was in 2013. And to this day, the mother, Sharon Murphey, who had a very odd relationship with her daughter way before the death,
and who was there when she died,
has refused because she's in charge of the legal decisions, and she will. Now it's too late. It's too late the body's been underground too long, but she has refused.
Right.
So
that's interesting.
Yeah, we'll get more into
the
that.
article because I was going to say, because this kind of plays more into it.
Yeah.
Did her husband die of the same causes? Just 5 months after Murphy's death and days after his last interview with People, Murphy's mom, Sharon, found Monjack dead at 40 in the same bedroom her daughter had died in. And that's maybe debatable. Because she collapsed in the bathroom.
The bathroom, and she died in the hospital. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Not nitpicking a little bit, but anyway, his cause of death read exactly the same as his wife's, a case of pneumonia and anemia. Quote, unquote, it was just a tragic set of circumstances, LAPD Commander Andrew Smith told People after Monjack's death, marrying his wife. It's a sad, sad case. Just months before his death. Yeah?
Now, that is true. And Cyril Rhett, who, again, he's an expert, and he's on all the shows, and he's highly acclaimed, agrees it was natural death. It was a natural death. He does not agree with that for Brittany, but he does agree on this one. But the fact that they're exactly the same is still weird.
Strange. Really strange. It makes you question. It makes me question anyway. When you have two natural deaths at this age, that close together.
Well, he was over 300 pounds, so his makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah, I guess I didn't realize that, but
yeah. But
just months before his death, Monjack opened up to people about his life after losing Murphy. I had a life I never dreamed. I've seen the sun set on 5 continents. I traded all for one more day with Brittany. I lost my life. She was my best friend, and she was a little girl who wanted her husband right there.
All right.
What do I have left? He reflected.
Can we?
That is a weird quote.
Oh, really? Oh, really? Yeah, the little girl thing. Did that stick out to you?
Yeah, that stuck out to me. Seen the sun set on 5 continents. He's done a lot of traveling since he lost Brittany.
All right. All right. So I have actual clips. Did you ever see the Larry King, CNN's Larry King show?
Yeah.
Did you see when him and Sharon appeared on the show less than a month after Brittany Murphy died?
No, I didn't see that.
So I picked out 2 of the best things to show how weird this is. All right, are you ready for this? So here are his comments on her autopsy. Ready?
Ready.
You didn't want an autopsy at first? No, I didn't. To us, it was such a shock. This pristine body that was curvy in all the right places and the skin like silk. And how could I say in front of her mother, cut her up?
I mean...
Yeah, I was gonna that I could hear a little clearer that time, but yeah, that's another really weird quote.
Right, and this is less than a month after she died.
That's kind of weird.
It is.
I didn't realize that they had a relationship after she died, which it kind of explains why she found the body, but how weird is that?
Well, according to the coroner of both Monjack and Brittany, she said they were sleeping in the same bed to comfort each other over the loss. She later denies this. But yet, all her stuff was moved into, because she's lived on with Brittany or off Brittany, however you want to say it, the whole time. So it's very weird. But all her stuff was moved out of her bedroom that she's lived there for years, and is now in the master bedroom where her daughter used to sleep with the husband.
That's just strange. That's really strange. I don't know that I'm all okay with that. I can get the comforting part, but I don't get the sleeping together part.
Even if they weren't having sex, that's still weird.
Kind of weird.
Yeah. So the dad, Brittany Murphy's dad, accuses he 100% until he died, I think he died in 2019, said the mom did it because Monjack and Brittany were planning on moving on and Monjack didn't want her around. This is his words. I have no idea. So his thing was she killed Brittany, then killed the husband 5 months later. Sharon Murphy, the mother, is saying that he was just after the money, but he was never, from what I could see, it's not like he was suing for money. He just wanted answers. So, and again...
every parent wants answers,
yes,
especially,
exactly.
As weird as the death this was. It was just a strange set of circumstances, because, like I said before, how many of us have been sick like that? And just, we take some cold medicine or whatever, and just to have her die so suddenly from that. Don't get me wrong, I know people die from the flu, and it happens, but you don't expect it to happen when you're 30, in your 30s,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, it says age 32. But still, you don't... a perfectly healthy person in their 30s, even if they're a little...
But she wasn't healthy. She'd been on drugs for a long time. But this could have been prevented. And that's... How about the 10 heavy metals that were found in her hair? That is absolutely insane. We're talking high levels.
Yeah. That would make me question a lot about this. It just makes you wonder, is there more to this death than...
I think so.
I mean, part of it is we just don't want to believe that she died like that. We just don't want to believe that happens to people.
Yeah. I really think there is more to this because, again, I keep referencing him, but any true crime show that's worth anything has this guy on it, Cyril Ritt. And I'm not pronouncing his name right, but people will know who I mean. All right? So, he really believes that Brittany's case needs to be re-examined. Like, it's a mystery. He feels sad that it will never be solved. He's never seen a case with 10 heavy metals in the system since or before. But yet, then he goes on to say that he believes the husband, Monjak, was a natural death. He was just unhealthy. So he's not building something up to make claims of like, oh, I'm going to get famous. He's already famous. But why do they have the same, and why has the coroner gone record talking about all the pill bottles and he's the one who went on record saying that Sharon, the mother of Brittany Murphey, and the husband were the ones sharing the bed. He's the one on record, and I think one other investigator, saying she said it, which she denies, so we have to put that in there.
Right.
So, and then you have the dad, the mob guy, accusing the mom, and then you have the mom saying he's just making these accusations because he wants her money. So, it's like, this is crazy.
What a hot mess.
It is a hot mess.
This is just, yeah, the whole, like I said, the whole situation, if you can get past her dying in such a strange way, but then to have her husband dying so strange and her mom be like, yeah, no, it's all good. What? No, it's not all good. How could you not want?
I just don't. Oh, and Sharon had to call 911 when her daughter died. And she was hysterical. I mean, hysterical. But she also had to call 911 when Simon Monjak died. He actually died in the house. But she's could say, baby, no. Like, she kept calling him baby. But you're going to say you... yeah.
Yeah. Big factor there.
Yeah.
The whole case is weird. The whole case is weird. And yeah, I agree. I think this is one that should be looked into just a little bit more, I mean, I don't know if her mother's still alive or not, but maybe.
She is.
Well, that explains why it hasn't been looked into anymore.
And the experts are saying even if it was looked into now, if they exhumed the body today, it's been decaying for too long.
Right.
So all they have is what was taken at the autopsy, but just a very sad case.
It is incredibly sad.
Yeah.
Incredibly sad. And and then to find out that was the house that Britney Spears owned before them. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, just a little bit of everything. All right, Rebecca, if you can remember, where can people find us?
If I can remember, I believe it is Exploring the Unknown with Rebecca and Shay podcast group on Facebook, or some combination or another of those words. Find us on Facebook, maybe.
I love you. Close enough. We got it. Yes, and if you have a story you want us to do, send it to us. We'll give you a shout out. If you want to join us on the air, then you can do that too. Just let us know.
Correct my pronunciation in person. It can happen.
I don't get to correct your pronunciation. I can't even say that word. Did you hear how I said that? Anyways, I can't even do that often because once in a while I know names that you don't. Other than that, I'm like, yep, go with it. Yeah, we have a guest coming up. I can't wait. We're recording first week in May, and it's going to be good. So be sure to check us out. Remember to like and share, please. Thank you. We appreciate it, and we appreciate you guys listening. Thank you.
Yep, thanks, guys.